This is the last one of a three-part series that I'm doing. I have lowered from the chair to a bench. So I'm probably going to sit with my feet cross-legged. This is only so that you can see all of the movements and the full range of the movements. So for this workout, this one is a little bit more intense. You're going to need 1 to 5 pounds, your range of, you can even go more than that. Obviously a chair. You could do this also on the floor, sitting on the floor, kneeling, however you want to do that. This is, again, total upper body workout. So we're going to start with a warm up, and we're just going to do a 2-minute warm up, and then we're going to get right into the work. The work is going to be 50 seconds of work. We're going to do 4 blocks or 4 workouts. So each one will be for 50 seconds. We'll rest for 10 seconds, and then we're going to repeat those for a total of doing them 3 times. At the end of that third round, we're going to rest for 20 seconds, and then we'll do a new round, different moves. So we're going to get a really good core and upper body workout. All right, so we're going to start with our warm-up. We're going to work on our breathing, so just some Tai Chi breathing. So hands are going to be down. You're going to inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, lifting arms to chest height or higher. Exhale, returning back down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Great. We are going to do our wave hands like clouds. Sweeping right hand up and out, making it really wide. Big, wide circles. So you think about starting from the opposite hip, coming down to your hip, and coming back around. So we're going to do that for 30 seconds. One hand at a time. So right hand first, then the left. So you're going to inhale with the right, exhale with the left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right. We're going to start with our hands at our chest, so elbows at chest level, palms together. Oops, the inhale, we're going to just open up, keeping our arms in like goalposts, and exhaling, closing together. That is the move. So inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Last little warm up. We're going to do this opposite. So we're going to reach our arms overhead. Actually, we'll start here. Start with our hands down, elbows by our waist, thumbs at shoulders. Inhale, reaching left arm up. Exhale, switching. So it's a solid movement, inhaling and exhaling. So left hand leads. Inhale. Exhale, other hand goes up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale back. All right. We are warmed up and ready for our 50 seconds of work for our first one. For this one, you're not going to need any weights. It is going to be 50 seconds of our hands interlaced behind our heads, so fingers interlaced, hands behind the head. We're going to inhale as we rotate right, exhale as we come to center, inhale left, exhale center. 50 seconds starts now. Inhale, rotate, exhale center, inhale, rotate, exhale center. Rotating and releasing. Keeping your fingers behind your head, keeping your feet down, hips staying centered. Think about rotating through the center of your chest. A few more each way. One more. And release. Okay. Forward fold. Again, hands are going to be behind our head. You're just going to hinge forward and lifting up. So we're trying to get some mobility in our spine here. So hands behind our head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Let's try inhaling as we fold. Exhaling as we rise. Either way you do it, you just need to make sure you're breathing through the movement. Whether you're inhaling as you fold and exhaling as you rise, or the other way, we'll do one more down. And coming back to center. Release. Right, now we need our weights. So hands are, I'm still sitting on my bench. My knees are coming down. This is going to give me more range of motion here. So we're going to alternate. So hands are going to be, stretch my legs out. Okay. Let me sit this way. Okay, I'm going to sit this way. There we go. Hands are down. We're going to, palms are facing back. Sitting up tall and straight. Opposite arm. So only one arm at a time. So left arm lowers, and then your right arm raises. Okay, that's the move. So it's alternating right and left and right. 50 seconds on the clock. Here we go. One lifts, exhale, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Keeping your back straight, chest lifted. Weight comes up to your chest. Elbow is leading the way. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We are counting seconds, not reps. So if 50 is too much for you and you need to rest, that's okay. Your range of motion, your ability, and release. Okay. All right. Shoulder press. I'm going to swing back around. Weights are going to come to shoulders, and we're pressing straight up and pulling down. 50 seconds of work. This is our last one, and then we'll get a 10-second rest before we start over. So, inhale up, exhale, pulling down. Inhale up, exhale, down. Think about goalpost arms. Inhale up, exhale, down. So W, Y. Y, because this is a great shoulder workout. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A few more. We're almost there. Inhale. Exhale. Release. All right, you've got a 10-second. Let me keep it there. A 10-second break. So grab a drink of water. For 10 seconds. You can stretch out your arms, rotating your shoulders, rotate your neck, look side to side, grab a drink. I actually gave you a little bit more. And 10 seconds. So we go back to our twisting. All right, 50 seconds. Hands behind the head. And we twist and release. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Slow and controlled, no fast movements. This is great for the side body. It's great for spine mobility. Exhale. Inhale as you twist. Exhale as you release. Couple more. And release. We're going to come into that seated forward fold. So I'm actually going to try turning this way this time. Oh, no, this is going to work. Feet forward. Okay. Hands are behind your head again. So inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rising. Keeping your back long and tall, chest proud, shoulders away from your ears. Feet flat on the floor. You could also do this lying down. I'm doing more like of a sit-up type move. And release. Right. Alternating rows. I'm going to stay this direction. Alternating rows. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Opposite arm lifts. Holding up and down. Keep your chest lifted. Elbow leads. About squeezing that shoulder blade into your back. Don't twist. Keep your shoulders straight, square to the room, front of the room. Chest proud. Just a couple more. And release. Okay. Shoulder press. Weights at shoulders. Inhale, extend. Exhaling, lower. Extend and lower. Now, if you want to come out here, back to the Y and the W, that's just as good. We're working those shoulders. You could stay here, coming straight up and straight down. Keep your elbows parallel to the floor, so don't tip down, right? That's why it's easier to do it this way, because you're coming into that W, Y, and W. A few more. And release. Oops. All right. 10-second break. Grab a drink. By the time I get my 10 seconds, we're probably done. So you might get a little longer than 10 seconds, but grab a drink. Roll out your shoulders. One more time. I'm going to do all three of those moves one more time. I'm sorry, all four of those moves. So there's your 10 seconds. Resetting back to 50 seconds. Maybe I need two different timers for this. One that has one, so I'm not flipping back and forth. All right, so hands are going to interlace behind your heads again, twisting right and left. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. Keep your fingers laced behind your head. Keep your hips solid. So you think of twisting through the center of your chest. Engage your core. Couple more. And release. Right. Back to the forward folds. Again, I'm going to switch here. Feet are going to be straight. Hands laced behind your head. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift. You could also inhale as you lower and exhale as you lift. So however you are breathing, just making sure that you keep your shoulders down and relaxed, your core engaged, your chest lifted, and you're breathing through the movement. Each inhale moves one way, each exhale pulls the opposite. So pushing and pulling, inhaling, exhaling, and release. All right, back to those rows. Grabbing your weights, 50 more seconds of work. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Left, right, left, right. Make sure your elbows and shoulders are doing the majority of the work. Your back is tall, strong. Feet flat on the floor. Core engaged. Breath to movement. Inhale, exhale, exhale, and release. And last move before our 20 seconds rest this time. It's back to those shoulder presses. So arms up. Inhale as we lift. Exhale as we lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. think about the W and the Y. Why are you working out today? What do you want to accomplish? Why do you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish? Is it strength? Is it gaining muscle? Is it for mobility? Is it for mindset? Because all of those things happen in a workout, even when we don't realize it. All right, we've got 20 seconds of rest. So grab a drink, stretch out your shoulders a little bit. So bringing our arms across our body stretches out the shoulders. Either side. You can lift your arms up, stretching, wiggling, exhaling down, putting them behind your back, stretching out the chest. There we go. 20 seconds goes by so fast. All right. We've got 4 new moves. Okay. So we've got flies, push-outs, bicep curls, and tricep extensions. So for the flies, weights in hand, elbows are going to be center of chest. So here, palms are facing towards each other, elbows up, we're flying open and closing. Okay, that is the move. 50 seconds, starting now. Inhale as you open, exhale as you close. Try to keep your elbows at chest level. So if they don't come all the way together, that's okay. You're still getting that same workout. When we open, think about squeezing the shoulder blades back, keeping our chest lifted, tall spine. If you need to switch the inhale and exhale, that's okay. You want to exhale where the most strenuous part of the work is. And right now, these 5 pounds feel like they're 10. Ooh, release. Okay. Push-outs. I think for these, I am going to drop down to the 3s. All right, so the push-outs. You're going to come and you're going to have your arms wide. So think you're like you're doing a push-up. So you're here, shoulders here, and then you're pulling in, coming out wide. Okay, that is our push-outs. So 50 seconds, arms out, 90 degrees, elbows in, pushing out, pulling in, push and pull. You can push and pull this way as well. So either you're this way or you're straight up and down. Push, pull, inhale, exhale. Don't ever hold your breath when you're working out. Couple more. These are hard. Release. All right. Bicep curls. I'm going to go back to my 5s for these. Could actually use heavier weights for these, but I'm going to go with my 5s. So bicep curl, elbows in tight, lifting up and pulling down. Inhale, exhale as you release. No swinging, slow and control. Pulling your arms up, exhaling down. Keep your core engaged, shoulders down and back, spine tall and strong. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. And release. All right, tricep extensions. I'm actually going to, move my water so I'll kick it. I'm going to come up to my knees here just because I'm on a lower bench. So I'm going to come onto my knees. Actually, I'm on my bench. Okay, so there's two different options. Actually, you're sitting in a chair. I'm just using the bench for so you can see the movement. So I'm going to turn sideways. So elbows are going to stay locked, 90 degrees, swinging back, lifting as high as you can, and then coming back. So elbows are what's bending and straightening, okay? 50-second tricep extensions. Oh, wait. You can do it that way. You can also do it this way. Over your head. Weights are like this. Overhead. Hinging down and up. So that's how I'll do this. So I'm going to sit sideways. Overhead. Tricep extensions. Not kickbacks. Hands overhead. Down and up. So exhale as you go down. Inhale as you rise. Or opposite way. Inhale and exhale as you rise. Wherever the work is the hardest, think that's where you want to push the air out. If this is easy, then maybe you need to go up in weights. If this is really too hard, instead of using 2 weights, just use 1 weight, holding it with both hands and going down and up. So when you do the 1 weight, you can actually, and release, go a bit heavier since you're using both hands. Okay, we get a 10-second rest. Starting now. Grab a drink of water. So we're going to push all of those back again. And that is your 10 seconds. So going back to the flies. So again, they're here, opening up and out. All right. Arms up, open and close. Inhale, exhale. Again, you want to keep your chest lifted, tall spine. If you can't come all the way closed, that's okay. Your range of motion. If it's here, it's here. Stop where you feel the resistance, because eventually you keep going, you're going to get here and all the way out. One last release. Whew. All right. Push outs. Going back to the 3s. Push outs are a little hard. Better than push ups, maybe? I don't know. All right, ready? Pushing out, pulling in. Push and pull. You know, I just realized my 3-pound dumbbells match my shirt. How funny is that? just a little humor to get our minds off of the ache and release. Okay, let's go back to those bicep curls. 50 seconds. Our elbows locked to your sides. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Tall spine. Core engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting. Lowering. Lifting. Lowering. Couple more. Release. Tricep kick extension, so overhead extension. So arms are overhead. Down. Exhale, rise. Inhale. Exhale. Keep your elbows close to your head. Elbows are the only thing bending. Aim for trying to get your elbows straight on the lift. Fives don't do it. I'm pushing into the five, so it's more like I'm lifting 10 with both hands to really work those triceps. I'm pushing the weights together as I'm lifting and lowering, which is why I'm not being able to extend all the way up and release. All right, we get a 10-second rest. We'll repeat all of that one last time, and then we'll rest for 20 seconds before we move on to our final round. All right, there's our 10-second rest. So starting back with those flies. Arms up, and we open and close. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. I'm aiming for my elbows to be at chest level or shoulder level the whole time. As I open and close, trying to keep those elbows from dropping. That takes a lot of shoulder strength to do that. You want to be able to keep those weights lifted. Keeping them at shoulder, or your elbows at shoulder height, so that when you open, you're at 90 degrees. You're still at 90 when you close. And release. All right. Push out. Changing weights. Pushing out. Pulling in. If you want to bring them down, kind of glide your elbows in towards your chest or towards your ribs. Think of like a narrow push-up. So your arms are at shoulder width apart, but your elbows are gliding into your ribs as you pull in and push out. And it's tall and strong in the spine, core engaged. Couple more. Release. Bicep curls. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Tall, strong spine, core engaged, no swinging. Keep your elbows locked into your sides as you're lifting and lowering. If you're swinging, your weights are too light. if you're struggling, your weights are too heavy. You do want that last few reps to be hard because that knows your muscles have really worked these 3 rounds. So these 5 pounds are starting to get really, really heavy for 5 pounds, right? We've been working really hard on these muscles, and release. Right, last move, and then we get a 20-second break. Overhead tricep extensions. So lowering and lifting. Elbows stay close. Pushing the weights together. You could try maybe to interlace the fingers to hold them together. But you don't have to. Just make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. That your elbows are doing the majority of the work, not your biceps. Engage your core. Relax your shoulders. And release. Goodness. All right. 20-second break. Let's stretch that out. So we're going to bring our arm up over, pulling our elbow down. Try to reach the middle of our back. And then we'll switch sides. And then we're going to interlace our hands out, palms face out. You can round your back here, pushing forward. And inhale in, lifting up, rotating our hands up. And then we're just going to float down. Okay, that was more than 20 seconds. Welcome. All right. Going back to the 3s for these, because this next round are a little difficult for me. So first move, arms are going to be long. You can have them at your sides or here. Straight up, shoulder height, and back down. 50 seconds. Front raises. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. I'm going to talk through these because if I don't, these are the ones that I typically tend to hold my breath on because they are really hard for me. My shoulders are not as strong as I would like for them to be. So I really work on them as much as I can. I need to do more to get where I need to be or where I want them to be. About 10 more seconds. Inhaling and exhaling. Release. Okay. All right. We are going to switch to lateral raises. So again, arms are just going to come up shoulder height. Now at any time, I want you to understand you can drop those weights. You can drop in the heaviness of the weight. So like I did from 5 to 3, you can go to 3 to 2, you can go to 2 to 1. You can go strictly no weights at all. Yeah, I gave you a little bit of break there. All right. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, rise. Arms out straight. Think about making the letter T. So lifting up into a T and lowering down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting and lowering. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Next move, side bend, right and left. So we are going to use weights. So you can, I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see this a little better. Put my feet out straight. So one hand lifts up, one hand's down. You're going to hinge. I don't have as much range of motion because I'm sitting on a bench as opposed to a chair. But you're going to hinge to the side, lowering, and then repeating. Okay. 50 seconds, side to side bend. Right and left. So bending right, bending left. Towards or away from me and towards me if you're sitting sideways. Again, you want to keep your spine tall and long, engaging your core. Inhaling and exhaling. Bending my knees so I stay up straighter. I was hunching. Okay, release. All right, last move. I'm going to stick with the threes, but I may switch later. I'm actually going to kneel again so you can see this move. So you're going to have your hands down by your side. Palms are facing forward. This is a underhand up wide row. So still elbows moving as you pull your weights up to your chest and then lower them back down. We're not shrugging them up, right? We're using our elbows. Okay. So elbows lift and lower. Again, palms are forward. Inhale as we lift up. Exhale as we push down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Different muscle group is being used here than the other underhand rows. When you do upright rows, you're using different muscle groups. Still, when I think about elbows leading, squeezing those shoulder blades back together. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Last one. Release. All right, 10-second break here. Let's take a drink and we'll go back to those lateral raises. See if I can keep my 10 seconds going. So the front raises first. That's your 10 seconds. So arms are out straight. 50 seconds is on the clock. And we're inhaling as we lift. Exhale as we lower. Back is straight. Core is engaged. Hands to shoulder width. Slow and controlled. No hurried movements here. Still 50 seconds of work, no matter how fast you go. But slow. You're going to feel it more, right? If you do it fast, you're not going to get that workout that you came here for. This isn't a hurry up and get it done, check the box. This is how can I build strength in my upper body in a way that's different. Release. All right, coming back into those lateral rises. 50 seconds on the clock. We inhale as we lift, and we exhale as we lower. Inhale, exhale. This is round 2. We've got one more round to go, and then we'll cool it down. You're looking great. Keeping your shoulders down, lifting up to shoulder height. Back is tall and strong. Core is engaged. Looks amazing. Inhale. Exhale. Few more. And release. Okay. Side bend right and left. I think I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do it this way so I can reach further going opposite directions. Okay. Left to right. Hinging and flowing through. Think pushing, making a C shape with your side, extending, keeping your back tall and strong, reaching down, trying to reach the floor. I don't have far to go, but I'm not sitting in the chair like I was before. I brought it down to the mat or to the floor just for the movement part of it, just so you can see me. Trying to get that extension straight and release. Yep, 50 seconds went by fast. Okay. Back to the underhand rows. I'm going to stay here. Keep kind of come forward a little bit. Oh, inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Try to bring your weights to your chest, not shrugging shoulders. Elbows doing most of the work. If you want to do it more here, you can. So Steve, I'll do this. I lost my head. Oh, here. Lifting. And releasing. All right, I cheated a little on that one. Okay. 10-second rest, and then we'll do round 3. Final round coming up. Grab a drink. That was our 10 seconds. A little over again. Back to those front raises. 50 seconds. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, lower. Now, if you want to try something a little different this round, if you want to attempt to go maybe a little heavier using one weight, still the same movement, both arms are lifting up, you're just using a little bit of heavier weight. I don't recommend going lighter. This is the last round of work. So either stick with the weight you have or try at least a couple of movements with a little bit heavier weight using both hands with the one weight. And release. All right, those lateral rises. Now, laterally, you cannot use one weight. So keep the weight that you've started with, even if you just have to go a few rounds. Like this is the 3rd round. I get it. We've done a lot of work in this workout so far. And we're getting fatigued, right? Our muscles are really starting to feel that work that we've done. So dropping down to nothing is nothing to be ashamed of, right? You have put in a lot of work. So if you need to drop that weight, go down in a weight to do these laterals, or just use body weight. That's okay. One more up. and down. Whew. There's no shame in dropping weight. Me saying go heavier on that last one was just an option that I had not realized or that I just realized I didn't offer as we were starting. So you could do that one weight instead of using both weights. So I just wanted to give you that really quick offer. Okay, what are we doing? Side bends. Got ahead. Okay. Side bends, right, left. Arm up, hinge, and release. This is a really good kind of transition moment from all the heavy that we've done. We're still getting some movement in our arms, working on our spine, keeping our shoulders down and relaxed. Before we do that one last move, we get our last 20-second break, and then we get to cool it down. Let's do one more each way. And release. All right, last move before the cool down is those underhand rows. So coming down, lifting up, inhale, exhale. Now again, you can do these wide like I'm doing because I'm not sitting in a chair. If I was sitting in a chair, I could do them more by my side, right? Like this. But since I'm kind of trying for you to be able to see the movement, I'm a little wider. But my elbows are doing most of the work, not shrugging up my shoulders, at least trying not to. It is very difficult to not do that, but you do want to try to squeeze your shoulder blades into your back. Last one, release it down. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, we have our 20-second rest to calm us back down, and then we are going to cool it down. Our cool down is only going to be about 3 minutes. So you're going to clear your weights out of the way for this. I will probably sit kind of wonky for this just so you can see the movement. So first movement, I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock here. And we're just going to do a shoulder stretch. So you're going to bring your left arm across your shoulder. You can grab in front of your elbow or behind your elbow. Just pull that arm across your body, keeping it at chest level. You want to feel that stretch in your shoulder. And we're holding here for 10 more seconds. 3, and release. And we're going to do the other side. So again, pulling that arm across, grabbing here or here. You can use your elbow, like your other arm, putting it in the elbow to help pull it across. If you can get it closer, just to pull it across, really feeling that stretch in that shoulder. Pulling it tight. And release. All right, this next one we're going to do for a minute. We're going to go back to those wave hands like clouds. This is a really good cool it down kind of movement, but this time we're going to right hand comes sweeping up. Again, those big, wide rotation movements, kind of rotating your body. So it's an inhale, exhale, fluidly moving, rotating around, kind of spinning a little bit. Now, You don't have to make that big of a movement. You can just come here. You just want to make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. And releasing down. Okay, the last thing to cool it down. Again, we're going to do this for 1 minute. Arms are going to come out straight. We're going to take our right hand and bend our elbow in. And as we open, we're going to turn our head. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, return to center, lowering down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale as you open. Inhale. Exhale as you release. Arm bends. Head turns. Return to center and release. Opposite hand. Turn and release. And now release down. Great job with that workout. That one was a burner. Shoulders, for sure, you will be feeling it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed all 3 of these seated workouts.